far away, love, and if you come, I know a place where we'll belong, and we'll talk of life the way love used to be. I know a place not far away, and we'll find a way through the city street. We'll find a way through the mad rushing crowd, and we'll talk about the way love used to be. Not far from here, it's not far away, love, and if you come, I know a place where we'll belong, and we'll talk about the way love used to be.
I've seen this before. In my opinion, it represents three individuals. What I find fascinating in looking at these two pictures is you notice that the short one, the tallest one, and the medium-sized one are all in the same order. And not only that, the tallest one is set further back than the other two in both pictures. They're virtually identical glyphs. The first time we came upon it, it meant Susan and myself and our friend Laurel. And I feel it's the same meaning the second time. And it's actually quite incredible. Hey everybody, just wanted to make a video here. Now this looks like a typical Sasquatch structure. This stick leaning up against a tree is definite Sasquatch behavior. That doesn't mean that the person didn't do it, but it's something that they 100% do. But you know, I always, when I see string tying things up, I always get a little bit skeptical. And so that's why I'm saying that these structures are an inexact science. Now I will say a few things, and I'll relate a story too. I mean, this looks like a typical Sasquatch structure to me. But like I said, when I see string or whatever, sometimes I get a little bit, I wonder, because I know Sasquatch do use string. There's no question about it. And how I know that is, I was with my friend Randy Barnes one time, and we were looking at some structures, and I saw some string on it. And like I said, I know that they will utilize anything that's at hand. And so the thought came to me instantly, you know, I'm just not sure. String, it always makes me think, you know, very possibly. I'm not going to say probably, although, I don't know. Hard to say what percentage I would say convinces me that it's human or not human. I mean, this does look, like I said, like a typical Sasquatch structure. But in any event, so yeah, it's an inexact science. But as I said, I was with Randy Barnes one time, and we were looking at a structure in a favorite place. and I saw some string attached to it. And so I said, string, is it people, is it Sasquatch? And as is often the case, they gave me an answer. Now sometimes that answer is immediate, like it was virtually in this case, or sometimes it takes a few days, but I usually get an answer. And what happened was I started pondering that question, string, people, blah, 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 a little indecisive. And just as that thought was going through my head, Randy Barnes pointed out to me a glyph that was right below his feet, just at that split second. And the glyph was a typical T glyph, very, very common for them. But there was one huge difference. The difference being is that the vertical piece, the horizontal piece was a typical peeled stick. But the vertical piece was the exact same string that was used in the structure that I was pondering. And it was placed perfectly centered and touching the horizontal piece to form a perfect T-glyph, one of their most common signs. And, there was no question, it definitely wasn't random, and it appeared instantaneously as I was pondering that question. So was this Sasquatch made? I don't know, the string is the only thing that makes me wonder. But like I said, that stick leaning up against the tree there, that's definite Sasquatch behavior. The structure looks like a Sasquatch structure. When I seen the same string, perfectly centered to form the T-glyph, classic T-glyph, and it was immediate, I knew that was my answer, that yes, dummy, we do use string. But, I don't like to jump to conclusions, so when I see stuff like this, it always makes me ponder. Like I said, it's an inexact science, the structures at times, and the rock stacks. The glyphs in almost every case are not an inexact science. I know what I'm looking at there. Now, some of them that are not spectacular or whatever, could have just fallen randomly. Like, something falls and the next could form randomly, or a few things like that. But, when you see a neck's perfectly centered and it just stands out and it's peeled and it kind of white against a brown forest floor background, and the circumstances and whatever, you don't have much doubt there. But interesting enigma, and so when you think you know what you're looking at, you get a curveball like this string. I just don't know if this is Sasquatch made or not. Well, I have to admit I'm a little disappointed, because I thought I was shooting a video of a raven who landed in a tree right beside me as I was looking at the structure with the string on it, which quite often happens when they're watching me talk about something they're interested in. Maybe they were giving me some reassurance that they had made it. I'm not sure, but in any event, I added this other video of a raven from some time back, but yeah, real disappointed I couldn't get the live footage. I guess the camera stopped recording and I didn't notice it, but oh well. But in any event, there was a raven that flew on a tree right beside me and was watching me as I was talking about the structure with the string. So I don't know if that says anything, but like I said, quite often when they're interested in what I'm talking about, they will watch me through the eyes of a raven, or shapeshift into a raven.
Lover, there will be another one who'll hover over you beneath the sun. Tomorrow, see the things that never come today. When you see me fly away without you, shadow on the things you know, feathers fall around you and show you the way to go. It's over. It's over. Nestled in your wings, my little one is special. Morning brings another sun. Tomorrow, see the things that never come today. When you see me fly away without you, shadow on the things you know, feathers fall around you and show you the way to go. It's over. It's over.
There's a number of different reasons why I know the Sasquatch definitely make structures. And I'll just name one. I know quite a few of the rangers that work in this area. And one of the guys that's been here the longest and has actually had a little bit of a connection with Sasquatch too, and he's opening up a little bit more about that, told me that 100% that they make them. There's no question about it in his mind. And one reason he knows is that at one point they used to take the structures down as soon as they seen them, because for one thing, you're not really allowed to be messing around with the fauna, or the, I don't know if the right word is fauna, but the you can't really disturb anything naturally on the forest floor. You can't put any of the wood around here into a fire, for instance, or build structures or stuff of that nature. You kind of just have to leave it as it is, which doesn't mean people won't do it anyway. I mean, heaven forbid, I've taken wood off the forest floor and burned it myself. But the point is that they used to tear them down, and you know, a classic example of that is they would tear them down in a campground that was close to the public, which doesn't mean a person can walk in, but still close to the public, and they would tear it down, and then that night or shortly after there would be like a torrential downpour, just an absolute monsoon of a downpour, and the very next day they would go back and find that it was put up again. And I also had an example where a guy told me about some structures he had found because he didn't even know what they were. I explained to him, yeah, the Sasquatch make these. And he said that he was just down in an area and he was looking at some and he didn't realize what they were, but that he had just seen some and he had always wondered. And so I went down to that area and I found a neat structure, a new one for me. And I saw him, I think, a day later. The very next day, I saw him right there in the area, and I said, "Hey, is this one of the ones that you found?" And he said, "No, that was not there that day." And once again, oh, look what we got here. And once again, it seemed very, very unlikely that a person had come in there and made it. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got to rephrase this. I saw him the next day and I asked him, "Oh, so did you see this one? The one I had just discovered?" And he said, "No, I didn't see it." And the beauty of it is that after I had talked to him initially the day before, I went down to the place that he was describing, and it was only 10 minutes after we were talking, and actually he had actually seen a Sasquatch peeking around the tree at him. So they were watching him, and also I was getting like the energy like crazy. So he saw the Sasquatch, but he thought it was actually just a walking bear because he just wasn't putting it together. He wasn't even considering Sasquatch. But in any event, after he told me where that structure was, I went down there and looked myself and saw the one that I was talking to him about the next day. And he swore up and down that it was not there when we were talking previously. So that structure appeared within 10 minutes of us initially talking, which is absurd because it was quite the intricate structure, and there was just no way that it was there or had been made, and it stood out. It was right central to the area that he was talking about. He couldn't have missed it. And so that was an answer for me too. And I am going to go over and look at this. You know, that string structure gets more and more compelling with some of the stuff I'm saying. Okay, so this one to me definitely looks Sasquatch made. So here's some more compelling evidence, as far as the one with the string goes. I've seen a couple things after that to me, well, that Y that we just looked at. This to me is almost 100% Sasquatch. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about this. So it's quite compelling that this is right in the same area. I've only walked like maybe 100 yards. Yeah, this is all new stuff for me too. They always leave you with, sometimes they leave you with more questions than answers. But definitely pretty neat. Look at that roof. Look at that roof. Yeah, typical. Yeah, like I said, sometimes I will get an immediate answer when I question things like this string or whatever, and actually I found within a very close proximity, maybe 100 yards, 2 or 3 other things that I would almost definitely equate to Sasquatch. But so I know they've been around, but yeah, structures are just an inexact science, and keeps me pondering things, that's for sure. Keeps me pondering things. I like the fact that that raven came around and watched me, though, as I was pondering it. Quite often there's a big answer in that. But, yeah. Definitely like the stick leaned up against the tree. Love seeing that. And, I mean, that stick has absolutely no use for a person. It's far too flimsy for a walking stick, which is quite often a giveaway. To me, that usually indicates an individual who made the structure or has been in the area. Sometimes you'll see 2 or 3 of them leaned up against a tree. But anyway, guys, maybe give me the answer to that string thing again. I'm a slow learner.
they fall, Annie, where will we be? Winter has come, Annie, no strength in the sun, Annie. And when it's gone, Annie, where shall we be? When all those colors have faded, when old Jack comes to call, don't tell him no, tell him maybe. Oh, now, Annie, may God bless us all. Oh, yeah, Annie, God bless us all. Hear the children they call, Annie, every leaf must fall, Annie. God bless us all, Annie, wherever we'll be.
Well, I'm back in here for the second time today. Sometimes I come in 3 times a day. Loving this new structure. You know, I was thinking about that raven and that structure with the string on it. It just feels like, because I was questioning it, and you know, because I already know, and they've already said, hey dummy, you know we use string. You know, with that example with the T-glove. I just felt that the raven just came at that time just to check in on me and to kind of confirm it. I really was disappointed when I realized that my camera had gone off and I hadn't noticed it. The thing is when I film in 4K, I only get 5 minutes. So sometimes, you know, I get talking and stuff and I forget all about the fact that it went off, and all that raven interaction happened when the camera went off. Oh well. Kind of a perfectionist, and so I actually quite disappointed. I really wanted to get that on film. I got some really cool pictures of it. I was talking to him and stuff, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think that raven just showed up by coincidence. Now, you know, I'm also not naive, and I know that some of these structures people do make. So, you know, you got to bear that in mind. This particular one here, pretty sure it's Sasquatch. I've seen a lot of them around here. This is a brand new one though, and it's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Look at the roof. Yeah, sticks cleaned up there. Really thick moss and stuff on the roof. I like that. You know, and I'm not trying to sell a point or whatever, but there's really no protection or reason why a person would make that. This one is definitely Sasquatch in my opinion. Very cool. I absolutely love this. Yeah. Absolutely love it. Wonder if I can get let me see if I can get a better picture of the roof. Oh, there we go. The stump ends about here, and all the rest of that is all the roof of this thing, which attaches to the other tree. Very nice indeed. Just noticed something. There's Bud's open triangle. And this is actually right where Mary saw Bud when he was waving at her, right around in this area. There's the open triangle there. And there's two other sticks. Bud had a couple little playmates helping him maybe. Very interesting. Love it. Thank you guys. This has always been a great area right up here. Just moving along from that other structure. Check this out. I think that what's on top of the stump there, that might have been there before. I seem to recall something like that, but I'm not sure. But check this piece out going across. I don't believe this is stuck in the ground. Pretty sure I checked it before. If it is, it's really stuck in there. I don't believe it is. It's not unusual for them to add on to things. This piece here was not there before. I believe the other thing was on the roof there, the three logs. I believe they were there before. A beautiful area. Peaceful. Just waiting for my raven friend to show up. It was a great one over here. It's falling apart now. One of my favorites. No more. Kind of sad when they fall down. Nothing made me sadder though than the big asterisk that led to where we are, where I have my camp out every year. It was just on the road leading into it. That was like a landmark, like a welcome to the land of the Sasquatch kind of feel. And I don't know if a big windstorm took it down or if somebody removed it. I heard rumors that somebody might have taken it down, but in any case, it is not here now. We're not there now. A beautiful, peaceful feeling up here. Once again, same area. A little guy here. Typical one. Just a bunch of tree pieces on top of a stump. Couple leaning up here. Typical roof. Yeah. Nothing special, but well, I shouldn't say that. I would dishonor the individual who made this. Probably just a little guy. But one of the more common designs, put it that way. I love everything they do. But yeah, this one I believe is new too. So there's a bunch of new stuff in here. I haven't been up here for a few months actually. I'm in this park every day, but I don't go to every area all the time. This one I haven't been to in a while, but yeah. Always been an area for structures and just a beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place. So I'll carry on and enjoy my time here.
natural fact. I'm your new soldier, your new recruit, here to satisfy your every need. Waiting in the shadows like a monkey in a suit, ready to do your dirty deeds. Done got wise to the way you do. Done got wise. Done got wise. Find yourself another fool. Done got wise. Guess I should've listened to my friends when they told me some people are all they're ever gonna be. Guess I was so taken by your charm and your beauty, I couldn't see what's in front of me. Now I've been saved, hallelujah. I seen the vision of what you're putting down. It's like they say a little dabba do you. Well, find yourself another clown. Done got wise the way you do. Done got wise. Done got wise. Find yourself another fool. Done got wise.
this structure is not new, but I think it's new to me. And typical, really heavily thatched roof. But there's another thing that I wanted to point out that's very common to a lot of these stumps. And that is, if you look down here, quite often they put like, I guess a cut off piece or a piece of a trunk or whatever inside of them. I've seen this countless times. Why, I'm not sure, but it's something I've noticed. And so it's something that I look for and to verify that it's their work, because I've seen it so often. Oh, there's my raven friend. Heard him just a little while ago. Yeah. Another really dense thatched roof. I'll go look at it from the other side. But I think I'm going to turn it off first. I got to step down off this big rock. Here it is from this side. Check all these mushrooms out. Wow. I think those are. Wow, I think those are those edible ones. Can't remember what they're called. Chantel or I don't know. I don't know mushrooms. But it looks like they're those edible ones, and look at how many there are. Of course, I'm not going to start eating them. For one thing, you probably want to cook them. The other thing is I do not know enough about mushrooms to start eating poison stuff. Yeah, look at all those. Wow. Chanterelles? Is that the name? That might be them. Wow. There's a feast there if that's the case. Hello, Mr. Raven. Here's this stump from this side. Typical heavily thatched roof. Yeah. Like I said, this one does not look new. Those other ones looked relatively new or newer, but this one's aged a little bit, but I don't think I've seen it before. Wow, it's a beautiful day in here today. Well, I came back here to this structure with the string, and was hoping to run into my raven friend again, but I haven't seen him yet. A lot less people in here now. Now that school's back and the long weekend, Labor Day, is over with. I just noticed something else that I find quite compelling about this structure. And let me just point a few things out again. Like I said, I want to reiterate, that stick leaning up against a tree, that's definite Sasquatch behavior. So that's a little bit of a clue. You know, the raven coming by and watching me as I was questioning the string and pondering it, that was a huge clue for me. But there's something that I didn't notice yesterday that seems like a simple thing, but to me it's just another really big clue that they had something to do with this, or at least maybe even made the entire thing, which I'm starting to lean towards. You see this here? Just leaning up here. Just this bark here. That is something the Sasquatch do all the time, stuff like that. Why a person would do that is beyond me. I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. But it's definite Sasquatch behavior. So, you know, there's a few interesting tidbits of information here that make me lean towards probably Sasquatch. Like, that bark serves no purpose for a person. I just don't think, I can't think of any reason why a person who would have made this would have done that. And like I said, this definitely looks like a typical Sasquatch structure. Now, you know, there's also the possibility, and I know this happens at times, probably more times than we realize, is that often a person will make a structure or make something and the Sasquatch will come along and add on to it, and vice versa. So there's always that. But truthfully, my gut tells me that the Sasquatch made this in its entirety. Yeah, that's what my gut is telling me. Can I prove it? No. Some of the ones I see just about dead positive. And I know for a fact that they do make some for the reasons I explained earlier in the video. But, you know, a few tantalizing little clues, like that stick leaned up against a tree, that piece of bark leaned up against the structure. That's the kind of stuff I look for. And also the fact that there's a lot of collaborative evidence around here. Just other stuff that, you know, within 100 yards or so that to me looked like Sasquatch. So, yeah. A few compelling things for sure. So, when I take into account that the raven was watching me as I was trying to figure out if it was man-made or Sasquatch-made, that's a really powerful clue to me. That bark leaning up against the structure, like I said, that stick leaning up against the tree, that's not a walking stick for anybody, far too fragile. And it didn't look like it was used to stir a fire pit or anything either, so just a few things to watch for. You know, the collaborative evidence is quite often the thing that makes your mind up about these things. Pretty dead in here today. Love it. Yeah, and like I said yesterday, a lot of collaborative evidence in the area. I definitely think this was Sasquatch made, this one. And the Y-stick, the bark leaning up against the structure, that spindly little branch leaning up against the tree, typical Sasquatch behavior. And like I said, that structure, I mean, to me, is a typical Sasquatch structure. So, and there's a lot of Sasquatch stuff right here. Even if that structure with the string wasn't made by them, but you know, I really, well, you have to be analytical and you have to be practical and you can't be jumping to conclusions, but you know, I know better that they do in fact use string. They use whatever is available, readily available. And you know, the more I think about that raven coming and sitting and watching me the whole time I was, or shortly after I started talking about the string and pondering the whats and the what ifs, it just all leads up to a conclusion that I think it was indeed our friends who made these things. So I think I'm going to carry on a little bit. It's a lot quieter in here today, and check things out. Just love it when everybody goes back to work and kids are back in school. My favorite time of year in here, for sure. And I'm going to have my 4th annual RE camp out in a couple of weeks. Maybe have a dozen people or so. And that's going to be a gas. Always a great time. Always great interaction with the clan. And, you know, as I've often said, I just facilitate the gathering. They're actually the ones who invite the people. You know, quite often they'll let me know who they want me to invite just by energy when I'm talking to them. I know who they approve of. kind of thing. But yeah, once again, it's going to be great. Once again, it's going to be great. Hi, little guy. Hello, little fella. Didn't have to go too far. Just across the roadway, and look what I found here. Wow. I don't recall seeing this yesterday. I can't say for sure it wasn't here, but I'm pretty sure I walked through here yesterday. Well, in any event, it's new to me. Very, very cool. Check that out. Some pretty big pieces of wood there. Some pretty big pieces. Very cool. Love it. Well, what do we have here? Did my friends make that smiley face? I know they gave me an answer before that they do painted rocks. Whether they left that there, open to debate. I think there's a very good possibility, but look at what is beside it. There's Little Bud's open triangle. And that kind of gives more credence to the rock. You know, I really, like I say, I hate to jump to conclusions about things, but I know they leave colored rocks and structures and all over the place, so good possibility they left this too. As far as the glyph goes, I don't really even question that. The fact that they're right side by side is also kind of compelling. Very, very neat. One other thing that is worth noting is that that painted rock is blue. And I've heard it from a lot of people say that blue seems to be a favorite color of the Sasquatch people. And I remember a lady from back east. I'm trying to remember her name. I guess it's not important, but she was saying that she was finding a lot of blue objects in their structures. And you know how it works, or at least with me, I know how it works. I think the very next day I went out and I started finding a lot of blue objects and structures. And finding a lot of them shortly after that for a good period of time, and I still find them. And so I do think it's worth noting that that smiley face rock is blue. Just another little piece of evidence that it's quite possible that they made that. Now the little bud glyph, no question about it. So we got the blue color, we got the little bud glyph, and the smiley face rock, which is blue, of course, right beside it. Just little tantalizing bits of evidence. Little tantalizing bits of evidence. I just wanted to clarify about the blue rock. I think it's less likely that they actually made it, although I wouldn't put anything past them. But I do think it's very, very possible, in context of the fact that it was right beside Bud's Glyph, that they found it someplace and placed it there. You know, kids make those painted rocks all over, and they make them in the park. So I just wanted to clarify that they probably didn't paint it themselves, although it's possible. But I do think that they could well have placed it there. So I just wanted to clarify that.